Well, the other big story, just to talk about for a minute before we get into super chats, the Rachel Zegler's movie Snow White, looking at a pretty low box
Weird.
office.
Weird.
Uh-oh.
That drops
There's-
this month, doesn't
Did
it?
you see her out on her PR campaign? Where she's trying to clean up.
The mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, womp womp.
She's trying to take notes from Henry Cavill. Fans are just passionate.
She should take some notes from the movie The Cleaner, I'm hearing.
That was basically what she was told to say by the PR people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. So 53 million is actually the high number. Well, the middle,
Wow.
48 to 58 million
Yeah.
is what they're saying. So
Which
it
I think will
could
be a
go-
new
Well,
low
only a
for the
week
live
ago,
action
they were
films.
saying... Over a week ago, about a week ago, weren't they
were
saying that
saying
it was
80
like
million.
Yeah, they were
60 to
saying
80
80,
or something?
Which means it's going to fall somewhere around 60. Don't you guys see what they're doing? They're pulling the same thing they did for Captain America.
Yeah, they wanted
knew-
to hit the high end of the scale of
They
their
knew where it
prediction.
was going to land. They reconfigured the predictions. Now that this prediction's down at 53 million, when it opens somewhere between 55 and 60, they can say, see, it opened above
Success.
expectations. Success.
Yeah, but even if it
Basket
did open
City.
above expectations, that is still a terrible box office opening. So I don't think
Oh,
that they
totally.
spin it in
That's
any
not
way that
true,
would make the
Steph.
film look good.
It's a great
Well, that's the problem.
success.
Until you get somebody actually out there to admit that, look, the threshold for a hit in this day and age with one of these type of movies where your budget is over $150 million, or hell, even over $100 million, is you have to open your movie at $100 million. If it doesn't open north of $100 million, because look at
100%.
Captain America as a great example, right? Because even if you go by their reported budget number that they've been toting for like the
180
last
million.
they're still not even going to make their money back, even if
Yeah.
you go by that metric. So they still can't hide the fact that it's a failure. And I think it's going to be a similar thing here, because regardless, they're never going to admit to how much the reshoots cost on this movie.
Do we, have
it's
an
worth of a 300
approximate, do we have an
million.
approximate budget on this movie?
This one I think was only like budgeted at 120 or 130 or something like that originally, but I
Yeah, but they've-
guarantee you it's
With-
over that
with
You
by now.
believe
reshoots,
that?
there's tons of reshoots.
Even like reshoots and shit.
Exactly.
like
It's like 300 million now, I bet.
Really? Shoo, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Even if
This
it's
movie's
250, even if it's $250 million, like 58 million,
Yeah.
to what? Like that's just. That's
You're going to
dead.
find out in the next, I bet you in like 10, 15 years from now, somebody's going to uncover, because we're already finding out some of it from the UK tax returns, but it's going to come out sooner or later that they bloated budgets and the amount of money they're spending on this shit, and the amount of money a lot of these movies lost. Like, look at Flash and Captain America as two great examples of this, because they compare well to this, because they both had just about as many reshoots, right? And I was being told that Flash was the most expensive movie that Warner Brothers had ever made.
That's crazy, dude.
All their money in the Ezra Miller basket.
Yeah.
Was it Snow White or was it Captain America? I can't remember who had to do like reshoots for like 20 days or something like that.
No,
that was
Captain
Captain
America.
America,
Oh,
where they
Captain
actually
America?
reported the
Okay.
22 days. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
Captain
don't know if
America
they-
had a lot of reshoots.
I don't know
Yeah.
what they confirmed
you
for
can
Snow
tell.
White. Yeah.
You
Oh,
can
yeah,
tell
you can
watching
tell.
Captain America that movie was like pieced together through a bunch of shit. I mean, it just the oh man, what's his
almost
name?
got three. It's almost got
Breaking
three
Bad
separate-
Gus.
Yeah,
He was
Don Carlos.
you could
Esposito.
tell he was totally inserted into that movie.
Yeah, it's almost got three different storylines, and it's tried to be like molded together.
Well, you have characters that are completely gone now, and I don't mean just the wrestler guy. I'm talking about like the Happy Meals that McDonald's released a year ago had that one chick with the pink or purple hair or whatever that's not even in the movie anymore.
yeah.
And not only that, now we know why McDonald's said you to Disney
Mhm.
when they
And
said we're going to move our Happy Meals. Do you guys see what they have for Happy Meals at the same time that would have had to get pushed? Pokemon. You think that Disney's going to trump Pokemon on that one?
No way.
No.
No way. And that was McDonald's won out on that one because, as you know, the big Pokemon push right now with the craze
Yeah.
of it. So, yeah.
Nicholas Horton
Yeah.
asking in the chat, yeah, I'll do a dime a video on my other channel.
No, Tom Barry Master, actually, McDonald's didn't get burned. They actually come out looking pretty good in this. That was my point. Because they basically told Disney, no, you were not moving. We're putting these toys out now because we're not delaying this. And I said for a while now, that is because whatever they had in place for the time period they were trying to push this to was more important to McDonald's, and now we see why, because it was
Mhm.
Pokemon. And they're like, we got Pokemon coming out at that time. We're not moving your shit to push Pokemon out of the way. No. You.
Whoa. Was
What the
Trump
hell happened there?
Was Tom talking and he cut himself off, like he muted himself midway through talking?
Did I? I didn't mean to if I did.
Well, you clicked mute and it sounded like you were still talking.
No, I was like, basically, it was McDonald's telling Disney, you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, in so many words. Like, we're not doing this shit.
I saw a Twitter post from some rando, but it got a big push. They had a whole lot of likes and a whole lot of interaction that said, the Snow White movie has always had a love story. All those people saying that it wasn't going to have a love story. It's like, no, Rachel Zegler was the one that said that. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
the whole thing, I think like Rachel Zegler has tried to spin the narrative something different.
I think that's what the reshoots were, Steph. I think the reshoots were her as a little girl, because that's what we heard.
Yeah.
Is they shot a bunch of stuff with this new actress that was her as a young child, so we're supposed to be able to feel more sympathy towards her and empathy towards her. And then the other bits I think they filmed were the parts where her and the prince actually have a romantic relationship. To be honest with you, I think that's because like everybody thinks that they did stuff with the dwarves, and I'm like, no, they're never going to call them dwarves. Watch the movie; they're never once going to refer to them as dwarves, and that's why they took it out of the title. They're going to be magical creatures, just like they said from the very start, because that's what we've been hearing and seeing is that that they actually have powers, like magic powers.
Yeah, they have powers. You can see it in the trailers when they touch the mines. They have powers, and it's not coming from it's coming from them. Like there's a trailer that shows Grumpy's hand light up before he even touches the rock. So they're magical creatures, but they're not going to call them dwarves.
Nope.
They don't even call them that in the title.
She's a resistance fighter.
Yeah, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to take the original Snow White movie when she goes, "Why, you're little men. You're 7 little men." That's what they're probably going to do.
That
Well,
they'll go, no, we're not. We're magical creatures. No,
Yeah.
Saying that they're not going to refer to them as dwarves is like, well, are they dwarves? Like, look at these things. They're monstrosities.
No, they're weird. They look like the Garbage Pail Kids from
They're
that
gonna go,
fucking
"Ick."
movie from the 80s.
They're so gross. I hate them so much.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Nasty.
What was your Tom?
I said, no, they don't look like the 7 dwarves. They look like the Garbage Pail Kids from that 80s movie.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, they do. Ugh. Let's see. This movie is supposed to appeal. 'Cause I don't think that critics or really anybody who goes and watches this movie can be like, this is for kids, though. The movie's for kids. Why are you getting so swept up in it? It's for kids. Do you think no kid would look at those things and be like, oh my gosh, they're so cute? Like the animated movie. Those things are scary. They're going to scare kids. They're gross.